end of the second impeachment trial of Donald Trump. I'm Errol Lewis, political anchor at New York One News. We've got a live shot for you inside the United States Capitol. In just a few minutes, the proceedings are going to get underway for a fourth day as the defense team for our former president presents their case after. You're on.
All right. So, hi everybody. Welcome to yoga class today. So, my name is Jeanine, and I'm one of the teachers with 3 Jewels, the yoga and meditation studio over on East 3rd and Bowery. And what we're going to do today is, and so Judy, we'll make sure that you have room too. We're going to do a yoga practice that's both from the chair. So you want to make sure you're in a chair where your feet can touch the ground.
Okay.
Even if it's moving to the edge, that's what I have to do. And then also that you have room to sort of stand next to the seat. We'll also use it as a sort of support for some of our postures.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So I wanted to just hear from each of you. How are you feeling today? In like 1 or 2 words.
Okay, pretty good.
So I'm in pain.
Where, if you don't mind sharing, Judy?
I had radiation therapy yesterday.
Oh, so is it a little bit all over?
No, it just on the lower part around my belly part.
Okay. And Aline, how are you feeling today?
Otherwise, I'm okay.
Good. And Aline, I think you're unmuted. How are you feeling today?
I'm coming along. I'm doing okay, thank you.
Good.
Yes.
And I put together a yoga practice today to work on releasing any sadness or loneliness. And because I don't know, and we don't even have to say out loud, but raise your hand, has that been something that you've felt in the last couple weeks, months, during the pandemic?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
So has loneliness or sadness been something that you felt lately or sometime during the pandemic?
Oh, yes. And my brother passed, so I've been also, a little bit out of it, So,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you.
So one of the beautiful things that I love about yoga asana, the physical practice, is that you can help your body process things that might have happened that you might be holding on to, things like sadness, maybe from the loss of a loved one, or any sort of negative feeling that comes up. You don't have to think about it, but simply some ways about moving the body can help your body release it. So yeah, so whether it's like the negativity from pain, from radiation, right? That negative feeling, we don't have to think about it. We just listen to our bodies and just move, and then it helps the body do the work.
Oh, okay. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So definitely so this is for taking care of yourself. So if there's anything that I instruct you to do and you're like, ooh, that doesn't feel good today, right? Maybe the lower part of your body hurts and that doesn't feel good. Feel free to make any accommodation, any change that you want. I have some good ones in mind to share that I really like, but you know your body and we're not there together in person. So feel free, you're like, I don't know, this hurts. I think I need a pillow or anything like that. Feel free to make any changes that you might need. Because first and foremost, it's not really going to be helping us if it causes any pain. Okay?
True.
So Olivia, if you want to mute everybody for the class now, that would be fine. Okay. So how we'll start is,
I'm not muted.
oh,
Hey, everybody mute yourself because I got the screen on pen.
Okay, okay. Mhm.
okay,
All right, I'll mute myself.
okay. And Elaine, can you mute yourself? A little meditation. So sitting with your feet flat on the ground, placing your hands on your lap. And when you inhale, you can let your spine stretch up, lifting up through the crown of your head. Keeping your chin straight, so you don't need to lift up like this, but just nice and tall to start to feel a little bit lighter. And gently close your eyes. And just let yourself start to kind of take note of how you're feeling inside your body. Is there tension or pain? Just taking note of what's there. No judgment. And begin to connect with your breath. So just drawing your attention now to the inhale and the exhale. Just breathing naturally, but allowing your mind to follow that sensation. Allowing yourself to feel supported by the chair beneath you, by the ground beneath your feet. And I invite you to set an intention for today's practice. So maybe something you would like to work on, or maybe a feeling you hope to have by the end. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And the next thing we'll do before starting to move our physical body is to do a breath practice. So, like I was saying, this practice is for releasing anything in our body we might want to release. So one way to do that can be through breathing and sound. So I invite you to, I'll do it once and then I'll invite you to join me. So you can inhale just as deeply as you can. And on the exhale, all the way to the bottom of the exhale. You can inhale, exhale, We'll do that a few more times on our own. And you can imagine your body releasing anything that you no longer want to hold. Two more. And with the last one, releasing everything else that might still be inside that you don't want to hold any longer. Inhale and exhale. And just taking a moment to see how that felt. I had mentioned before taking note of that internal landscape. So to see if anything shifted with those exhales. And now we'll start to warm up our physical body. So we'll start with some neck rotations. And we'll focus on also matching it up with our breath. So we'll start with rotating our head from side to side. So we'll inhale. And on the exhale, gently turn your head to your right, letting your gaze move over your right shoulder. On the inhale, guide your head back to center. And on the next exhale, moving your head over to the left. Allowing your gaze to move with your head. Inhale back to center. And as your exhale starts, rotating your head to the right. And as your inhale starts, gently bringing it back to the center. Exhaling to the left. Inhaling to center. And one more time on your own breath. Turning with the exhale. Back to center on the inhale. And now we'll rotate our head, lowering our ear down to our shoulders. So with the same motion with the breath. So as we start to exhale, lowering our right ear to our right shoulder, allowing a gentle stretch to happen here on the side of the neck. On the inhale, bringing it back up. And exhaling over to the left side. And allowing the focus here to really be to have your movements be guided by your breath. So when the exhale starts, you can start lowering your head down to the side. And when the inhale starts, it lifts your head back up. Exhale to the left. And then one more on your own, just really tuning into your own breath, guiding the movement. Okay, and as we meet back in center, now we'll warm up our neck front to back. So on the next exhale, lower your head to the back. Not so far we crunch our upper spine though. Make sure it's comfortable. Inhale up straight. And exhale, lowering your chin down. Stretching the back of your neck. Inhale up. And we'll do this 2 more times and just allow yourself to follow your own breath. So I'll be quiet and you can just listen to your internal cues. And allow this to be our last of this set. And now bringing your hands to your shoulders, so crossing your arms, we'll start to warm up our spine. So on the inhale, we can arch our chest forward, looking up towards the sky. And on the exhale, curl in. Letting our inhale lift us up and start to open our chest, arch forward, look up. And on our exhale, fold in. 2 more times following our own breath. Okay, and when you complete the last one, you can bring your hands back down to your lap. Excellent. So now inhale, extend your arms out in front of you and make your hands into fists. We'll be working with our wrists. So inhale, bringing your knuckles up towards the sky. Exhale, relax straight. Inhale up. Exhale straight. 2 more times, still using that breath as a guide. As the inhale starts, your hands lift. And as you exhale, they go down. Okay, so when we're back to center, as we inhale, we'll move our knuckles down towards the ground, stretching our upper wrists. Inhale back to center. Exhale down. Inhale back to center. And if you need to relax your arms down a little bit more, that's fine. Wherever's comfortable, and we'll do 2 more of this set of the wrist movements. Okay, the last one. Down and back to center. Now from wherever is comfortable to, we can definitely just take any movement your body needs. I feel like my body needs a little bit like of a shake out of the arms before we do any more wrists. Okay. We'll shake out the wrists. Okay, now we need some music with all our movement we have going on. All right, I wanted to do internal wrist rotations too, because I realize so much of the time I never move my wrist in this direction. It can be really tight. So leaving your arms wherever's comfortable, you can definitely relax them down if you need or extend them up. Just listen to your body. But closing our hands into fists again, rotating them in towards each other. On the exhale. Inhale back to center. Inhale, stretching. So we're like stretching the top of our wrists. Back to center. Let's do that 2 more times. Okay, then we have one more direction that we haven't done yet, which is reaching it out. So whether you want to keep your hands still as fists or maybe even extend your fingers out, you can play with both. See what feels like the better stretch for you. Today, my hands feel like stretching out with my fingers and allowing the stretch to happen on the inside of your wrist. Then tuning into your breath, just letting your hands move as you inhale and exhale. And then just allowing yourself to take a couple of wrist circles, rotate them in each direction, right? We could do fingers open, fists. See what your body needs. Maybe even get your shoulders into it a little bit. Just get the rotation going. Yeah. Maybe open up a little bit. There we go. And if we go in one direction, we got to go in the other. So go inward now a little bit with our rotation. Okay. All right, so now we've got our wrists warmed up. We have our neck warmed up, a little bit of our spine. See, what did I have next in our plan? Oh, we were right on point. Okay, the next thing I wanted to do was start to warm up our shoulders. So we're already halfway there. So we'll do it with arm lifts. So a good way to do this is working on our arm rotation. So extending them out, having our palms face out away. So it's a little arm rotation. And then inhale, raise your arms up, palms facing each other. If you want, you can even continue warming up your neck, look upwards, perhaps towards your fingertips. Then exhale, rotate your hands out so you're like pushing the air down with your palms as you lower your arms. And twisting them up towards the sky, inhale. Look up. And then rotating your hands to push that air down out of your way. Exhale. Let's do this 2 more times, tuning into your breath. Last one. Excellent. All right. So now we've been warming up our body a lot this way, kind of out to the side. Now we're going to start to warm up our spine with a twist. So just checking to see, in order to do a twist, I often need to sit a little bit further on my chair. So, because I'll be putting a hand behind me. So you can just sort of situate yourself where it feels good. Okay. Then you want to take your left hand and place it on the outside of your right knee. Inhale your right arm up. Inhale, you can feel a stretch up through your arm. And then exhale, placing your hand behind you. So your right hand is behind your right hip. And you can inhale, like let your body stretch up. And then as you exhale, you can start to twist a little bit. And you can let your gaze move over if it feels comfortable. Start to look over in the direction of your twist. And on your inhale, you can release the twist a little bit. And exhale, go back into it. You don't have to just go in and hold. That can get really uncomfortable. So let yourself move a little with your breath. Inhale, come out of the twist. And exhale, rotate a little bit more over to the side. Okay. On your next inhale, come back to center. And we'll do the other side. So that's taking your left hand, or sorry, your right hands. I need to learn my left and right, my right hands. Putting it on the outside of my left knee. I'm 40 years old, I'll get it someday. Inhale your left arm up into the air. And allowing yourself on your exhale to start to rotate. Perhaps bringing it behind you on the chair, maybe up top. Play with some different positions that each give a different kind of stretch. You can play with letting your gaze go over your left shoulder. And as you inhale, you can come out of the twist, give yourself a little break. And exhale, twist back over. Inhale back to center. Let's go over into the twist one more time. And maybe even try a slightly different position than you have before. I'm going to move my arm up higher on my chair and see how that feels in the twist. And on your inhale, you can come back to center. Okay. So now we're going to work with a forward fold. So just make sure you have some room in front of you. You don't want to hit your head on anything. Okay. So we'll inhale our arms up and exhale, just start to fold over just a little bit. We're going to start to signal to our body what's coming. Inhale up. We're just starting to warm it up a little bit. And exhale, just a little bit of a fold. Inhale. One more time. We'll exhale maybe a little bit further, but not all the way. Inhale back up. And now I want to invite us to just take a pause so we can have this forward fold work for our bodies as best as possible. So we'll be folding over our legs. So perhaps, so an adjustment I really like is to take a pillow or maybe a folded blanket and have it on your lap. That way it supports you and you can really lean into it and feel supported. So feel free to try that in the stretch. Inhale your arms up. And exhale, gently fold forward, allowing your chest to fold into your lap. You can let your neck relax, let your arms relax. And if this feels like still too much of a bend, feel free to take maybe a folded blanket or anything, add to everything, add to your pile on your lap. This should feel good. So maybe sometimes it's even good to do with 2 pillows. I put another blanket on top. And exhale, fold over. We want this to feel supported and comfortable. Just take a few breaths here. And if at any time this isn't working for you, feel free to come back to a seated position. Two more breaths. If you don't want to stay extended down that far yet, feel free to, you can come up onto your elbows, onto your lap and just stretch out that way. Because being fully folded over can get you dizzy pretty quickly. So we don't want to do that. So this is also another good pose to just get some extension. So still you have that support. I even have my arms on the pillow. And allow yourself to feel like you're getting stretched out through the crown of your head. And on your next inhale, come back to seated. And since we just spent some time folded forward, upside down, it can be good to just take a minute and re-get our bearings. So for me, sometimes that's just taking a few deep breaths. one more seated posture before we stand up. I'm going to start to stretch our sides. So inhale your left arm up. And then begin to exhale over to the side. And this is a good time to really check in with your body. Is it feel good for a big stretch or perhaps less of a stretch? You can really see how your body feels today. Inhale back up to center. And exhale, fold over one more time. And then your inhale, come back up, placing your arm down. And then we'll inhale our right arm up. And stretch on our inhale, stretch up really tall. And exhale over to the left. You can also find support in this pose by supporting your arm on your leg. That way you don't feel like you're just folding all the way over like a tree in the wind. Inhale back up to center. And exhale one more time. Feeling that stretch. Maybe it's going a little bit more. Maybe you bend your elbow. Try some movement here. See how it can feel a little differently. Inhale back up. And exhale, release your hand down. Okay, so now we'll come into some standing poses, but they can all be done seated as well. So if at any time it would feel better to sit down, you can absolutely continue to do the poses sitting down as well. So if you're comfortable to do with standing up, let's come and stand next to our chair. Okay, and we'll just start to get a feel for it. Let me actually move my camera a little bit so you can see my face when I stand. Okay. And if you need to adjust anything in your space, definitely take a moment. That way you have a comfortable space to practice in. Okay. So we're going to start with Tadasana. So this is mountain pose. It's a standing posture. We'll start with our feet and we'll work our way up. So starting with your feet, you want them about hip width distance apart, which is, you can just look down. It's not keeping your feet right next to each other. We want a little bit more stability. Mine is about 2 fists apart from each other. So you can put your hands together and kind of look down and see if they seem to have that distance. Okay. So then coming back to standing up straight with our feet there. This might be, might want to close your eyes. Okay. So Judy, we're starting with our feet separated slightly. You can hold on to the chair. We're going to root down through our feet. So drawing our attention to our feet. They're going to be a strong base like a tree. Taking a moment to feel each toe push into the ground, maybe even push them in a couple at a time. Your heel push into the ground. Okay. Then we're going to move up our legs. So we can have a slight bend in our knee. Have our muscles engaged in our thighs. A slight tuck in the lower belly. It helps our spine stay stable. And then extending our spine up through the crown of our head, relaxing our shoulders down. And the last part of this pose is our hands. So we want to reach our fingertips down energetically, like strongly down to the ground. So our head is stretching up. Our core is stable And our feet and our fingertips are reaching down into the ground. Just taking a few breaths here in this pose. Okay. So now we're going to start to stretch our hamstrings. Let me just check the time. Okay, we're doing great. We can turn to the chair. We'll use it as a way to help keep us stable, a support. So stepping your right foot slightly forward and your left foot a little bit back. And then extend your spine long, begin to stretch forward and reach down. It might be to the seat of the chair or to the back of the chair. You can check which height feels good for you today. We don't want to feel any pressure in your back. Hopefully we're feeling a stretch in the back of the right leg. If you want, you can relax your head down. Taking a few breaths here. And inhale, come back up. You can come up to standing. And then we'll switch the legs. So putting the left leg forward, right leg back. And when you feel stable there, you can start to exhale and fold forward. You might slightly bend your knees. You might relax your head down. Or anything else that might feel good to you. And inhale, come back up. And now with our feet straight, we're going to work on doing a standing forward fold. We'll have our legs straight. You can slightly bend the knees. You'll know your body, so you'll know what's comfortable to you. A lot of times my knees will hurt, so I like to give them a little bend, some extra support. So inhale, extend up tall, and exhale, fold forward. Perhaps you stay here. Maybe you even fold down a little bit more. On your inhale, you can come back up to half lift. And then exhale, let's try that one more time, folding forward a little bit more, maybe a bend in the elbows. Just start to lower yourself down as much as feels comfortable. And inhale back up. So we'll do like we did before, where we just take any movement that our body might need. We're going to do a forward fold twist, but right now let's just kind of move out anything our body might need after all those folds. Okay. So then we'll get, now we can get repositioned in our, next to our chairs. And we'll inhale our arms up. And exhale, fold forward. This time we're only going halfway. And start to place the weight in your left hand and lift your right arm just out to the side. And exhale, lower. Inhale, and on your exhale, begin to raise your right arm. And inhale, lower. Exhale, raise your arm. Right, and you can play with it. You can see, do I go all the way to the ceiling? Do I go just a little bit? How far do I go today? And exhale, lower. Excellent. Now we're going to do on the other side. So switching our weight to our right hand. Inhale, and as we exhale, start to reach our left arm out. And inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. One more time. Let's see how, maybe you want to stretch a little bit further, or maybe you want to try a different position. Maybe bending your arm a little. And exhale, lower. Okay. So now that we've showed our body where we're going, we're going to take a twist to hold for a few breaths. So inhale, and on your next exhale, start raising your right arm as high as you might want to go, whatever's comfortable for your shoulder. We're going to take a few breaths here. You can play with perhaps rotating your gaze to meet your fingertips. Maybe you want to try bringing your hand to your hip and just rotate without having your arm extended. See how that feels. And exhale, lower your arm. Then we'll go to the other side. So readjust. Inhale, and on your next exhale, start bringing your left arm up. Wherever's comfortable to hold for a few breaths. Allowing yourself to twist from your tummy area, your chest open to the side. Maybe if you tried bending your arm on the other side, you can try on this one too. And see how that helps, perhaps with the chest opening. Might want to move your gaze up towards the ceiling or a little bit higher on the wall. Then exhale, lower your arm. Excellent. You might want to bend your knees a little bit. That's what my body felt like it needed after all of those stretches, is bending my knees. All right. And extending your spine out. And exhale, folding forward. And inhale, come back up. And now we can come back to being seated in the chair. I'm just going to move my chair so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Okay. How are we doing? Thumbs up, are we doing okay? So? Good, all right. Okay, so fantastic. All right, we have 10 more minutes. So now we're going to work on stretching our spine this way, stretching forward. So we'll start with placing our hands on our shoulders and just inhale, stretch up tall, maybe tuck in the lower belly, and exhale, stretching your chest forward, you can use your hands to maybe encourage your shoulders to stretch back a little bit. It's more of an intention than moving your shoulders. Mine don't really go anywhere. Can look up. Our goal in this pose isn't necessarily to move our body a lot, but to help our chest feel open, help our heart feel open. You can smile. Exhale, come back to center. You could keep your hands here, or you could try moving them to your back. It gives a different sensation, so you can see which one feels right for you today. Inhale, stretch up, and exhale, stretching your heart forward, relaxing your head back. One more breath here. And inhale back to center. Okay. So now to counteract our bend this way, we'll take a seated forward fold. So if you used the pillows before, this could be a good one to get your pillow back. Hope you didn't put it away too far. Okay. I just leave everything on the floor. Okay, so then we'll inhale up, stretch up tall, and exhale, fold forward, let yourself sink into your pillow, relax your arms down, and relax your neck. Two more breaths here. And your next inhale, come back up to seated. You can move your pillow. And let's see. Okay. So now we're going to start our winding down. So take any other movements that your body might need. Kind of straighten my leg and sort of crack my knee a little bit. Any movements your body might need before we get into relaxing in a seated position. Okay. Now you can take what I'm going to show you is it's a kind of a hand massage you can do for yourself. So I'll come up close so you can see. So you want to we'll start with your right hand and kind of cup it. So you'll see that there's like a little indentation here, right? You can take your left thumb and just start to lightly massage your hand there. So you can lower it down to your lap. This is going to start the sort of meditation portion. So you can, as you're doing this is an energy point in your body for relaxation. So you can, so you want to also encourage relaxation in your body. So you can exhale, maybe lower it down to your lap. And you can start bringing your mind to that sensation in your palm as you rub it lightly. One of my teachers taught me this recently, and she was saying, anytime you start to feel stressed about anything, you can just start to do this, and it'll help your body calm down. I thought that was pretty amazing because this isn't very much. But sometimes you only need a subtle touch or movement to help things shift. Now let's spend a little bit of time on the other side. So finding that spot on your left hand, kind of the indent, letting your thumb find it. And gently rubbing in a circle. I'll even sometimes hold my hand. That way it feels more supported. So wrapping your right hand around. And exhaling. Just moving your mind to that gentle hand massage. Okay. Now we can relax our hands into our laps, rest our feet on the floor, and we'll do a little meditation just to close out our practice. So you can sit up straight, gently close your eyes. And as you settle into your body, taking a moment to notice how you feel now. Perhaps it's a little bit different than when we sat down before class. If you notice any shifts, you don't even need to try to figure out what to call them, but you might notice somewhere you feel lighter. Or maybe somewhere you feel looser. Maybe your emotions feel a little bit different. Now I invite you to call to mind one good thing that happened from this practice or during this practice. Maybe it's when we laughed. Maybe it's when you felt a good stretch. Whatever it was for you, just spend a minute there and rejoice in it. So really celebrate that you had that particular experience that felt good for you. You can let a smile come over your face. And now send that goodness or that happiness to someone else that might need it. So just wishing it for them in your mind, that they could experience something like that too. Now begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right. Look at that, 1 o'clock on the dot. Olivia, can you unmute everybody? Or I don't know if you all can unmute. I would love to hear from you for a second.
I
Okay.
enjoyed the stretching a lot.
Yeah, let me call you back.
Nice, good. So for next class, I like to, come up with ideas of all the things to share with you. How are the standing postures? Do we want to do more or keep it the same? What would, for the next time I teach?
I think the same for now,
It's
maybe.
pretty good. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
We could probably do some leg, like movements, while standing also, like.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
So today,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
class was set up is we were building up to when we were bent over halfway and lifted all the way up to hold.
Mhm.
So we were warming up the body that way. So next time I'll put our pose we're working up to as something with our legs.
Oh, okay, great.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
That's
It was
good.
so great to see you all. So we'll see you next Friday. I think
Okay.
Isabella's going to be teaching next Friday, and then I'll teach the following Friday. But I'll still come to class and do it.
Okay.
Okay. Very good.
Have a
Have a
good
We've been
weekend.
snoozing the whole time.
Good weekend,
Have a good weekend,
You too.
everyone.
everyone.
Have a
Bye,
good,
everybody. Take
Judith, I'm
care.
waiting for your call, okay?